name is Paddy. I'm going to tell you all about how I became a Christian. I grew up in a Christian household, going to church and listening to Bible stories, but I think I made the active decision to follow Jesus or be a Christian when I was about 17 years old. Up until that point, I enjoyed church life, youth groups, going on camps, weekends away, but I can't honestly say I was there because I wanted to learn more about Jesus. It was more for playing football or climbing on roofs and falling through them, or chatting up girls without my parents around. But when I was 17, someone did a talk about running the race as a Christian and living your whole life for Jesus, and I think that was probably my moment. Until this point, I think I saw Christianity as an add-on to the rest of my life. There was me, school, social fun times, and then Christianity was like a sideline. I was like in my metaphorical backpack, ready for a Sunday morning. But at that moment, my 17-year-old self, I think my eyes were open to what Christianity was about, being loved so much that God would send his only son Jesus to die for me, and therefore I should give everything I have to follow him. It's like the aliens in Toy Story. You saved our lives, we are eternally grateful. I think then the Easter story of Jesus' death actually sunk in. Jesus didn't just die, he rose again for me. And by the way, Jesus dying and rising again, that for me was really good historical proof that he wasn't just a good person, he was definitely God's son, and I should listen to what he says and what he does. So that was it. I decided to try and live my life for Jesus. That doesn't mean I suddenly became perfect and never had any doubts. It meant that I realised I wasn't perfect and needed Jesus. When I die, I'll meet Jesus in heaven. At my nana's funeral, actually, I loved how much hope there was at it. She died a Christian, and although there was sadness, there was joy. She knew Jesus, so her place in heaven was cemented. And it was because she knew Jesus had died for her that she could be with him in heaven. Looking back, I can see things that have happened that have brought me to know God. For example, my granddad once told me about a book where a legal journalist's wife becomes a Christian, and the guy goes nuts, he can't believe it. He was a hard-nosed atheist, and she was just going to waste her life, his wife. But being a legal journalist, he checked it out. He looked at the evidence thoroughly. Does God exist? Who is Jesus? Did he die? Did he come back to life? He said a heap of historical aspects that weren't just the Bible, interviewed experts and all that stuff, but he couldn't swing it. He couldn't prove his wife wrong. He realised that he needed Jesus too. I have read the book, but like 10 years later, but it was my granddad telling me that story that kind of sparked my mind, and well, that was God. My cousin, another little story, my cousin used to get me CDs for Christmas. It started off as Oasis, sometimes Busted. But one year he got me a worship album, people singing praise to God in Hammersmith, actually. The last song on the album is called When I Survey the Wondrous Cross, which is an old classic, but I don't think I'd heard it at that point before. And one of the lines in that song where the key changes is, "Love so amazing, so divine, demands my soul, my life, my all." And when I got baptised, that song was what I quoted. Christianity isn't my bolt-on, it's God's love, amazing love, sending Jesus perfect and blameless to die for me. Love so amazing, so divine, it demands my soul, my life, my all. Well, God's love demands my all, so that's what I decided to do, to give everything to follow Jesus. And I suppose at this difficult time in the world, my faith has been pivotal. I know that bad things will happen in the world, and I know that life won't be perfect, because I'm not perfect, humans aren't perfect, but I do know that Jesus was perfect, and that he died for me, and will look after me, and if I die during this coronavirus, well, I have no fear in death. I know what will happen, just like my nana knew. Jesus died for me, he rose again.